So good morning all. So today we are going to discuss about these are the certain points which we have already discussed in our previous slides. That is what is modulation and what is amplitude modulation, and different sort of schemes are available through which we can transmit our signal with a higher frequency component. As we have seen, the basic components for modulation is there are two signals. One is the low frequency signal and one is high frequency signal. So this low frequency signal is our message component, or you can say it is a modulating signal, or you can say it is called baseband signal. Now since in order to transmit this low frequency signal to a longer distance with less interference and all those things we have discussed in our previous class also. So for that we require a higher frequency component, that is called as a carrier frequency. As these are the certain block diagrams which we have already gone through in the previous slide, that if this is called modulator, okay, this modulator in which the one is message component, which is a low frequency component, that is called FM, and one is carrier component, which is carrier frequency FC, and the condition is FC must be very greater than FM. This FM is your modulating signal frequency. Okay, so this is modulating signal frequency. Now this modulating signal we need to transmit to a longer distance. Now as I have told that modulation is a process through which the characteristics of carrier component is going to change with respect to the characteristics of modulating signal or a baseband signal, due to which a modulated wave will be generated. So output of modulator is modulated signal. So there are three basic fundamental terms in modulation is, one is modulating signal, one is modulated signal. So modulated signal means after changing the characteristics of carrier signal, either with respect to amplitude, either with respect to phase, either with respect to frequency, any sort of modulation what we will see in our coming up session, due to which the modulated signals is observed, and this modulated signal we are writing as S of t. Now this S of t, okay, this C of t and this M of t, these all are continuous in nature. So in previous slide, in the previous class also I have discussed that if any system respond to the continuous signal and output of that system, suppose this is my system, okay, in this system where output is also in continuous time, that means this whole system I can write as CTS. It is called continuous time system. So CTS is also called as continuous time system. That means if I will provide a continuous signal to a system, it will perform some sort of analysis, or it will perform some sort of mathematical or some sort of transformation. After that, if the output signal is in time domain with respect to your input signal, both are in time function, both are in same continuous manner, then the whole system is called as continuous time system. So with respect to this continuous time system, we can see which one is our modulating signal, which one is our carrier signal, and which one is our modulated signal. So this is the basic steps to modulate a particular signal. Now if the carrier amplitude is varied with respect to the instantaneous value of modulating signal, then the output will come as amplitude modulated signal, in which phase and frequency of a carrier remain same, but amplitude is going to vary. First. Second, if the carrier angle as we have shown that some expressions are available, I will once again I will write. So if the carrier angle is changed with respect to the modulating signal, then I will say it is called angle modulated. If the frequency is going to change with respect to the modulating signal, then it is called amplitude, that is called frequency modulation. Similarly, phase is called as phase modulation, but that depends upon this continuous time system. So it depends upon the characteristics of a carrier. Here we have considered the carrier is a continuous signal, and that carrier is a continuous in nature, means it will come under continuous wave modulation. Okay. So this modulation process depend upon the characteristics of continuous CWM. So it is called continuous wave modulation. So continuous wave modulation means here the carrier is continuous in nature, like this. It is continuous in nature. I can write C of t, and this is time period 0. Okay. So if your carrier characteristics is continuous in nature, if it is a continuous signal, then whatever the modulation will take place, it comes under CWM. So CWM means it is called continuous wave modulation. So continuous wave modulation is having two types. One is amplitude modulation and one is angle modulation. So these are the two types. Okay. But this angle modulation is having two dependent factors. One is called frequency modulation and one is called phase modulation. This thing also we have discussed in the previous classes. Same thing I am discussing once again, so that if anybody has left it out, he can regain all these things. Okay. Now depend upon this AM, that the various schemes are available. Various schemes are available. One is called as DSB SC, one is called as SSB SC, and one is called as vestigial sideband. So these are the fundamental modulation technique or the type of modulations done within an AM modulated signal. It is a type of AM modulated signal. One is DSB-SC, means it is a double sideband with suppressed carrier. SSB-SC means it is a single sideband suppressed carrier, and VSB means it is a vestigial sideband signal. So these are the three type of AM component is available in amplitude modulation technique. Similarly, in angle modulation, we are having two types, that is called frequency modulation and one is called phase modulation. Okay. Now next, now if the modulation, it depends upon the characteristics of a carrier. If a carrier is continuous, then these are the hierarchy of a particular modulation scheme. But if the carrier is a pulse, suppose for example, if my carrier is this sort of pulses are available, like this. If these are the pulses, if my C of t is pulse, okay. Now if this pulses is our carrier, then the modulation scheme what we have is called as, there are two types of modulation schemes are available. So two types of modulation schemes are, first is pulse modulation scheme and one is so it is pulse modulation, which is also called as PM, if my carrier characteristics is rectangular pulses are available. If I am going to change the characteristics of this pulse of a carrier, then pulse modulation is available. Now in this pulse you can see amplitude A and this is minus A, and it is a time period, as well as it depends upon the width of a particular pulse. For example, this is my pulse. Okay, this is one complete time period, T on and T off, and this is the amplitude. Okay, now in this, if we are going to change the width of this particular pulse, either with respect to on, either with respect to off, if we are going to change the width of this particular pulse, then the resultant is called as pulse width modulation. Similarly, if we are going to vary the amplitude of the pulse, if the amplitude of the pulse with respect to the modulating signal, then it is called pulse amplitude modulation. Okay. Next, if this pulse is shifted to the another position, for example, this is my pulse, original pulse of a carrier. Now, if I will shift this particular pulse after modulation, if this is the scenario is happening, so if the position is shifted, then it is called PPM. It is called pulse position modulation. So this pulse position modulation indicates that variation of a carrier characteristics, which is the position, is changed with respect to the modulating signal. Okay. So this comes under the pulse modulation, which we will go through briefly in the coming up module sections. So for the time being, we will only discuss what are the types of pulse modulation. So one is pulse amplitude modulation, amplitude of the pulse is going to change. Another one, the pulse time modulation. In this pulse time modulation, it is divided into two categories, which is called pulse width modulation. If you are changing the width of the pulse according to the modulating signal, as well as the position of the pulse. If the position of the pulse, if you are going to change with respect to the modulating signal, then it is called as PPM. But this PPM and PWM comes under this PTM, pulse time modulation. This is PAM is called as pulse amplitude modulation. Okay. Similarly, there is another part is called as pulse code modulation. If these pulses are discrete in nature, okay, if these pulses are discrete in nature, then I will say it is called pulse code modulation. So this pulse code modulation is also available with the differential pulse code modulation. Okay, so it is a pulse code modulation as well as DPCM we can write. So that we will discuss later on. For the time being, we are discussing about the continuous signal, because since we are dealing with amplitude modulation, since we are dealing with a angle modulation, since we are dealing with frequency modulation, later on we will discuss about this pulse modulation. So first of all, we will discuss this particular part. What is AM, what is angle modulation, and how many type of AMs are available, how many type of angle modulations are available, what are the characteristics of AM signal, what are the characteristics of angle modulated signal. Depend upon that, each and every factor we are going to derive. Now these signals are basically generated from our transmitter end. Similarly, these signals need to be recovered at the receiver end with the help of demodulation technique. If there is a modulation, there must be a demodulation. Demodulation is a process through which we can extract the modulating signal from the received modulated signal with noise. So these are the certain things which will help us to understand how these modulated signals are going to be generated. Okay. So one by one we will start. First we will discuss what is ordinary AM. Then we will discuss what are the types of AM, and then we will discuss how to generate this AM signal, what are the techniques are available, and how to demodulate this AM signal, and what are the different receivers or different demodulation techniques are available. Okay, so in the left hand side you can see, for right hand side, these are the topics which we are going to discuss in today's class. So let me draw the margin so that it will be in a perfect way to represent. Okay. Now, suppose we are discussing about amplitude modulation. So in this amplitude modulation, the three things we will cover. First, the signals representation. Signals representation. Okay, signals representation. Both in time domain and in frequency domain. Frequency domain. You people are aware of this transformation, how we are converting the time domain parameters to the frequency domain parameter, and it is done with the help of Fourier transform. You have already learned all this Fourier transform, Laplace transform in mathematics as well as in network theory as well as in the signal system. So you are aware of those transformations. Okay. So this is first is our signal representation. Then we will discuss about mathematical analysis. Mathematical analysis with respect to generation of AM signal. Okay. Second, with single tone signal. Third, multi-tone signal. And the most important factor, analyzing this all representation, this generation for single tone, for multi-tone signal, modulated signal also we can analyze, as well as the detection of AM signal. So these are the basic things which we are going to cover in today's class. Okay. So one by one we will see. So first we are going to represent our signal representation both in time domain as well as in frequency domain. But before that, this mathematical analysis we require so that we can represent each component of a time domain with respect to a frequency domain representation, or it is also called as frequency transmission. Then, so in this mathematical analysis, first we will generate an AM signal with the help of modulating signal, with the help of carrier signal, as well as if the modulating signal is a single tone. Single tone means if a modulating signal is having only one frequency, one low frequency. Similarly, multi-tone means if the modulating signal is having more than one number of modulating frequency. So what are the modulated wave we will represent with the help of this mathematical analysis. So one by one we will proceed. So first I will draw the block diagram so that you can understand what is AM. Okay. So first I will write generation of AM signal, amplitude modulated signal. Okay. For this, I am representing the signal. The three basic signals are there. First, my message signal or M of T. I will write message signal. Message signal is a low frequency component. Okay. So let us consider this is my message signal. 0. So this is message signal. Similarly, carrier signal also I have to represent but carrier signal frequency is very high. That means the time period or the clock cycle is very less. So this is my carrier component. This is the carrier component in which frequency is very high, which is almost 1000 or 100 times greater than that of our modulating signal. So this is my time. Here I will write C of T. This is called carrier signal. Okay. This is the carrier signal. This is the message signal. And then we are going to analyze the modulated signal. Okay. So how we are going to analyze this modulated signal? Let's see. One minute. So modulated signal we are going to see like this. This pink line is called as envelope. How it is happening I will tell you. But let me draw it first. And this yellow color is the carrier component. The carrier signal characteristics is changed. Which characteristics? Amplitude is changed. But the frequency and phase remain constant. So here I will write SAM of T. Amplitude modulated signal. I have considered up to one clock cycle. Here there is no modulating signal, so carrier signal will remain as it is. So here carrier signal will be remain as it is. This is the carrier signal. And this part is available because the same carrier is available here because there is no modulating signal, so carrier is only the unwanted signal. One most important thing, for generation of a AM signal, we require two components. First, the modulating signal. Second is carrier signal, and then we are generating the modulated signal. So for this, in previous slide I have shown that first we are going to change characteristics of a carrier component. How we are going to change? Let's see. So this is AC. this is m of t, this is your cos omega ct, and this is your am signal. Okay. Now here what happens? Here we are changing the characteristics. AC means this is the amplitude of carrier, peak to peak value, plus AC to minus AC, and the time period is very less because the frequency is very high as compared to the frequency of modulating signal. So this modulating signal frequency is FL, which is very less as compared to the carrier. So this consideration must be done so that the modulated signal is delivered with a higher frequency. So this is the higher frequency. Okay. Now how this particular thing is happening with respect to this carrier, and then we are observing a modulated signal. So step by step we will see. First, m of t. Okay. So this m of t is going to be changed with respect to the modulated carrier component. So for this what happens, here you can see there is a variation in the amplitude of the carrier with respect to the modulating signal. Now how it is going to change, what are the factors are there that need to be analyzed. This is called, this pink line if you can see, this is called as envelope. Okay, envelope, in which our information is present. Our carrier with respect to the modulating signal is available, and these yellow lines are called as carrier component. Always remember this, when we are modulating a particular carrier with respect to carrier, a modulated signal is generated. Carrier does not convey any sort of information. It is only a what I will say, it is only a unit which carries our information. Our information means the modulating signal. So the modulating signal is a particular information or a baseband signal with a low frequency which need to be traveled to a longer distance at a faster rate. So that means you are going to modulate it. So how we are going to modulate? With respect to the high frequency component. High frequency component with respect to what? With respect to carrier. So this is called as your envelope. This pink line if you can see, this is called as your envelope, and the yellow lines are called as carrier. Now your information lies in this envelope, but this carrier does not convey any information. So for AM what happens, the demerit of AM is that the maximum power utilized to transmit the modulated signal is only with respect to the carrier, not to the modulating signal. So we will see all those calculations. For the time being I will say 66% of the total power. Suppose if I am transmitting 100 watt of power, let us consider like this, 100 watt I am transmitting, but in this 100 watt, 66 watt which is going to be transmitted to help this carrier, which does not convey any information, but our information lies in 33 watts, which may deteriorate due to the effect of noise. So to overcome this AM, there are different modulation schemes are available like DSP-AC, like DSP plus C, similarly DSP-AC, SSP-AC, vestigial sideband. These are the techniques through which this information or this demerit of ordinary AM is overcome. That we will see in the mathematical calculation. So for the time being, here we are going to change the characteristics of amplitude of modulating carrier component with respect to modulating signal. Here whatever I have drawn, it is only with respect to time domain. So you can write here, it is a time domain representation of signals. It is a time domain representation of signal. Why? Because as I have written m of t with respect to t, so it is a continuous time signal. C of t with respect to t, it is also continuous signal. Similarly, this S modulated signal is also represented with respect to time, is also called as continuous time modulated signal. Okay. Now here, after this particular point, there is no availability of modulating signal. So that means there is no modulation of carrier. So if there is no modulation of carrier, the same strength of carrier is available here. So here I can draw with respect to this pink line, this is the carrier is available with no modulation, because there is no modulating signal is available after this time period. Okay. So now how we are going to analyze mathematically, let's see. So first m of t. Now this m of t is called as modulating signal. So we will note down one by one. So this is m of t is modulating signal, c of t is carrier signal, and s suffix am of t is called modulated signal. Okay. So these are the three basic components of modulation. Now we are going to represent this all thing mathematically. Now how we are going to represent all these things mathematically? Let us consider m of t. So m of t whose amplitude is, let us consider Vm and minus Vm. So this is our cos signal because it is starting with some DC offset value. So here I will write Vm cos omega m t because it is a cosine signal. So cos omega m t means omega m is equals to 2 pi fm. So this is the angular frequency. What is the unit of angular frequency? It is rad per second. Okay. Similarly, from this FM modulating frequency we can identify, because in order to represent any signal we require a trigonometric expression. So this is modulating signal whose unit is hertz. Okay. So this is first my modulating signal. Then second I will use carrier component C of t. Now here we have represented carrier with a potential AC and minus AC. Peak to peak value is AC and minus AC. Since this is also a cosine signal, so here I will write A suffix C cos omega Ct. Done. So this C of t is equals to A suffix C cos omega Ct, where omega C is equals to 2 pi Fc, which is also called as angular frequency of carrier. Okay, whose unit is also rad per second. Similarly, Fc is the carrier frequency. Unit is hertz, and the consideration is what? Fc is very greater than Fm, where Fm is a low frequency component, because modulating signal is a low frequency component and Fc is a high frequency component. Okay, so this high frequency will help to transmit my modulating signal to a longer distance in a less amount of time period, because as we know the relationship between time period and frequency both are inversely proportional. If frequency is high, that means time period is going to be less. So for example, that example also I have given in the previous slide and previous class. If your modulating signal frequency is 10 Hz and your carrier is 1 GHz, that means modulated signal will have in terms of gigahertz. So it will help to transmit the signal at a higher frequency to reach at a certain destination at a fraction of second, because the frequency is inversely proportional to the time period. If the frequency component is high, that means time period is going to be less. So this is the basic relation. Okay. Now these are the certain equations through which we will proceed to generate an AM signal. Okay. So first is our modulating signal, second is our carrier signal, and third most important thing is called as our modulated signal. How we are going to generate AM signals. Okay. for that, this block diagram you can see. I will erase this one so that it will be clear to you. So step by step we will follow. According to this figure, we are changing the characteristics of modulating signal with respect characteristics of carrier signal with respect to modulating signal. So as you can see, the carrier amplitude is. Now in AM modulation, you need to vary the characteristics of AC according to the variation of the amplitude of modulating signal, whose frequency and phase of a carrier remain constant. So how we are going to represent it mathematically? Only variation in amplitude, but the frequency and phase remain constant throughout the time period, throughout the reception end. Okay, let's see. So first, according to this figure, AC is going to be added with m of t. That means amplitude of a carrier is going to change with respect to the modulating signal. Okay, so for this I am writing S suffix am of t. So that is called modulated signal. So S suffix am of t is equals to. So step by step we will see. First m of t is added. This is a summation. Okay, so this summation is going to be added with respect to the modulating signal. So m of t plus AC. Done. Next, it is called as a modulator. This whole combination is called as modulator. It is called mixer. Okay. In this mixer, what happens? These two additive signals, m of t plus AC, let us consider E of t. Okay. This E of t is multiplied with this cos omega ct and resultant is your AM signal. So m of t plus AC into cos omega ct, that is called my modulated signal. Now here what happens? You can check this modulated signal with this carrier component. Here the carrier amplitude is varied with respect to the modulating signal, but the frequency and phase of a carrier remains same. It satisfies frequency and phase remain constant, but amplitude varies. Okay. Now in this case, if I am going to elaborate it, because it is the mathematical analysis, since we are doing mathematical analysis, what is this m of t plus AC? M of t plus AC is called as E of t. E of t. Now where this E of t comes? E of t is called as envelope. Okay. So upper one I will say it is called AC plus m of t, and this one is minus AC plus m of t, because this envelope is also having peak to peak potential. So peak to peak means it will have a positive potential as well as negative potential. So first, if it is peak, is called as plus AC plus m of t, and negative potential is minus of AC plus m of t. So this is called envelope, in which our message component is available with carrier. But this carrier which is inside the envelope does not convey any sort of information. Our information is available in the envelope. Okay. Now here E of t and cos omega ct. So AM signal can also be represented in terms of envelope relation. So this is the basic general equation for AM signal. AM signal in which the amplitude of a carrier is changed according to the variation of modulating signal, through which